A very good morning to all the students. Today we are going to start chapter 3 and the name of the chapter is School and its Organization. Here in this chapter we are going to discuss about school and how a school can be organized properly. First of all, before going to discuss about the topics under this chapter, we must know what is school. As this word is very much familiar to all of us. The word school is derived from which word? The word school is derived from Greek word skol, which means lecture place. School is an institution primarily for education. School is what? It is an institution and especially and primarily for acquiring knowledge through education. And from where the word school derived? The word school derived from a Greek word. And what was the Greek word? Skol, S-K-O-L-E, skol, which means lecture place. Next, we must have to know what is school plant. The school plant is the physical situation or material condition under which teaching learning activity is performed. School plant is one of the important factors of the process of education. The total environment of the school depends on the school plant, and it is totally of the physical resources needed for education. As the point mentioned here, what is school plan? If you are not clear about it, I will explain you. School plant is what? As we all know that for all-round development of a student, the school authority should have to pay serious attention to the selection of a suitable site for the construction of school building, arrangement of classroom, arrangement of bench and desks, table, chair, laboratory, library, playground, hostel, then museum, toilet. Everything is an important part of school, which comes under school plant. So under school plant, what things come like library, laboratory, playground, hostel, museum, toilet, desks, benches, table, chair, everything comes under school plant. That's why it is said here, look at the points. School plant is what? It is the physical situation or material condition under which teaching learning activity is performed. The school plant is one of the important factors of the process of education. The total environment of the school depends on the school plant. Exactly. Why it is said that the total environment of the school depends on the school plant? Because if we don't have the facility of library, if we don't have the facility of classrooms, if we don't have the facility of playgrounds, if we don't have the facility of desks, benches, then where we can sit? Yes or not? If there is no facility of table and chair, then where we can sit? If there is no facility of laboratory, then where the students can able to perform their practical works, do their practical works. For that, what we need? We need a laboratory in school. So all these are considered as an important factor. All these are considered as an important factor in the process of education, and it should be there in every educational institution. Because it is said that the total environment of the school depends on the school plant. Now if you clear with that, what is school plant now? It's nothing but the physical resources, the totality of the physical resources that we need for education, that an educational institution needed. This can be considered as school plant. It may be the land or site of a school, it may be the school building, it may be the classroom, library, laboratory, museum, and different equipments. it will come on the school plant. So these are the physical resources like land or site, which is very much important to organize a school. Then school building is needed for an effective teaching learning process. Classroom is needed for an effective teaching learning process. Library, laboratory, museum, equipments, these are considered as the physical resources of school. So these physical resources comes under school plant. The first thing we need to discuss is about land or site of a school. To select the land or site for a school, these are some of the conditions that everyone should follow. The first point is the site or land of the school should be away from overpopulated area. So here it is said that if our school resides in some kind of noisy place or overcrowded area or residential area, then the student can't able to give attention in the classroom, as the environment will be noisy. So for that, the site of the school, while selecting the site of the school, it should be kept in mind that it should be away from such kind of noisy area, overcrowded area, residential area, or we can say marketplaces, then cinema hall, factories, industries. The school should be away from this kind of places. Next point is the school should be situated in an area where there is sufficient open space for playground and for future expansion of school. It is a very important point. Then the third point it is there should be ample facilities for transport and communication for school children coming from distant areas. The school should be situated in such a place where there is a possibility of communication, where there is a facility of communication. If there is no facility for transport and communication, then how a student can come school? It will be difficult for them to come school. That's why it is very much necessary. After that, it should not be away from hospital and other social welfare center. Why it should not be away from hospital and other social welfare center? Because in school sometimes what happens, many students get hurt after playing and all, yes or not? So for that they need hospital nearby. That's why it is very much important that school should be situated in such a place which is not at all away from hospital and other social welfare center. The last point, but not the least, it is the site of the school should be high, dry, and in such a position where there is possible of more fresh air and sunshine. It is very much important point, and it is an important condition of land or site of a school. I hope you all have understood about these points. The next it is school building. Now let's see what may be the principles that we need to follow for construction of school building. So these are some of the principles that I have mentioned here. The first point it is the school building must be attractive. Why the school building must be attractive? So that it will attract the students, it will attract the teachers and also the parents and the society to get admitted in the school and also to get different facilities from the school. It is everyone needed. It is everyone need. Yes or not? That's why the school building must be always attractive. After that, the pattern of school building should be preferably like the letter TIEUHL. What should be the pattern of school building? While constructing a school building, what pattern should be most preferable? The pattern like T, I, E, U, H and L. But here notice that T and E pattern must be considered as more convenient. Okay? T and E pattern of school must be always considered as more convenient. The third point it is the school building should not be multi-storied. What is the third point? that the school building should not be multi-storied, and if the school building if this building has to be constructed in more than one story, the primary section where every school have, that primary section should be accommodated in the ground floor. That should be considered while constructing a school building. If the school building has to be constructed in more than one story, then what happened? The primary section should be accommodated in the ground floor. So it should be of great concern. After that, while constructing the school building, care should be taken to see that sufficient light, heat and air may be available in every classroom. It should be of great concern. The fifth point is there should be sufficient provision of teaching learning materials. What may be the teaching learning materials like? To what we considered as the teaching learning materials, as it is an important part of every educational institution, that there must be sufficient provision of teaching learning material. Now what may be considered the teaching learning material? It is not that it is the blackboard, chalks, dusters, maps, globes, graphs, table, chair, platforms. These are considered as the teaching learning material which is to be in school. It should be in school building. Okay. After that, there should be classroom, library, principal room, teacher's room, laboratory room, auditorium, art room, museum, office room, canteen. There must be facility of these rooms in the school building because it is very much necessary. And also there, if possible, some rooms like separate common room for boys and girls should be constructed. Then reading room should be constructed in school. Computer room, which is very much important, computer room can be constructed. Then storeroom can be constructed. After that, music room can be constructed. So first 8 rooms should be constructed. So these are some of the important room that everyone needs in an educational institution. So these are some of the principles that to be followed for construction of a school building. I hope you all have understood. Thank you.